Me too, aka Stab 8, directed by Rian Johnson, and he was sort of quoting along with the movie.
This is all McGill University.
By the way, on 5 too. Sorry, the needle drop for Red Right Hand was such an argument. Not an argument. It was like we knew it was in the movie. We couldn't find the right place for it for so long. In this, you guys were like, it's here and it's at the theater, and it never changed.
Never changed.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Just worked. Like, go with it. This was we've talked about this a lot, but this was Jasmine showed up on this day,
just
fully
rocking.
loaded,
and
rocking. Knocked it out of the park so far on every take that we were done with her side of shooting in like half the time that we had allotted.
I think this was ended up being our shortest shoot day.
Yeah.
Which is insane because there are 7 people in the scene. 6
It's not a small
like,
scene.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not,
it's
like,
a long scene.
You got 7 people.
coverage.
You got to cover.
Yeah.
In different sizes, and it's a long scene. And the speech didn't change much either from the first draft. I mean, it was really.
I think we just threw some things in as it evolved, as the script changed.
Oh,
and
no,
we were like, oh, we
absolutely.
can make a joke about that too, but that's it, yeah.
There are also some very sneakily effective VFX shots in the scene. We added some city behind Mindy and this side, sort of see the depth there, and then the opening shot. You could very much tell that it was a very very European designed
Hogwarts.
campus. Yeah, that we,
Right.
we changed to look more like New York.
Cannon fodder at this point. Usually
Is producer William Sherrick somewhere hacky sacking in the back here? I saw him dressed for it. So
Yeah,
I
there
don't
was
know if he ever made it
a
in the
lot of
movie.
B-roll
Yeah.
shot of all of us throwing the frisbee. And
I love that Chad is taking notes here now.
Yeah.
It's like he didn't take notes last time, so he wants to make sure he's up on everything. The other thing I love is when we get to it, Mason is so excited in both these movies to be a suspect. Like whenever it's like, we're all suspects, he always smiles like, well, this is pretty great, I'm a suspect.
died so their franchises could live on. That means it's not just the friend group. Any of us could go at
Also,
any
the
time,
2 things that Tyler always laughs at are Jack Champion saying, am I in the friend group?
Yeah.
It's the best.
And the guy with
It's
Bunny
the
years
best.
later. Those are
My
the 2 things, no
favorite,
matter how many times
am
you see
I
it, Tyler always laughs
in
at.
the friend group?
so good.
It's so genuine. It's
so genuine.
It's so sweet. And it's so Jack. It's like there's no perform. That's just Jack.
Yep.
It's
Am I in the
so
friend group?
lovely.
Ethan,
The Jack thing is funny because he was written as very much the shy, dorky nerd.
Yeah.
And then we met Jack Champion, who is in no way a shy, dorky nerd. But he was so passionate. He loves Scream. He was actually Ghostface for Halloween the year prior.
That's
No
amazing.
way.
Yeah. And he sent us a bunch of pictures that he took when he went to see Scream 5.
Oh,
Just
wow.
he took a bunch of pictures in front of the poster, being like,
Oh, that's rad.
yeah, it's,
Which is a normal thing that you do.
And then,
when you go
6
see a
months later,
movie.
he's in the
yeah,
movie.
That's so awesome.
Well, you guys sent me the video of the moment you told him that he was one of the
Oh,
killers.
yeah, tell that story.
Oh my God.
well, we didn't tell any of the killers they were the killers until the costume fitting. And then Avery would basically do like a Columbo, one more thing. And we have one more.
One more
and then
costume for
bring
you to
out
try
the ghost face.
Mm-hmm.
And
I mean,
He lost his mind.
him and Liana both. I don't remember how we told Dermot, but him and Liana both lost their
Dermot
minds.
knew because I think to get him involved,
We had to tell
Yeah,
him.
Dermot
because
read the
his
whole
role
script
up
at the
until the
beginning.
third act is really pretty lean.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
And so we had to kind of say, look, you have a big part to play. You're not gonna feel that until the third act.
But I think also he only got to read the first 2 and then was told, it was like, you have to trust us that it's a great third act and
Yes.
it is you, but we literally can't send you the third act. You have
Also,
to kind
is
of trust us.
Dermot the only actor ever not to wear?
Yeah, he never puts on you never see him in the movie.
Exactly. You never see him in
Although he is
in the robe.
unmasked.
the ghost
Yeah.
face.
Billy.
Yeah.
Wait, no, just Billy.
Yeah, you never see Jack in the robe, right? Do we see Jack in the robe?
Quaid
Yeah.
behind Mindy.
Yeah, no, but I mean like.
I know what yeah. It's
Oh, like in the
Oh
reveal,
yeah, no, yeah, it's
post
true.
reveal.
Like, take,
No.
Yeah, to take it off.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah.
This I would like to shout out to the script for Kirby, quote, noshing
Noshing a
a
dog.
Noshing a dog.
Interior precinct. Kirby noshes a dog.
Yeah. By the way, there was a longer cut where you guys held on her eating half that hot dog.
It was so fun.
and she
you
was
know.
destroying it. Like,
This was really exciting for us, too. I remember, like, texting you guys, oh, we're doing our first
Murder board.
This is so cool. This also took just like figuring out what was on this board and how to lay it out was a like no small exercise. It took a lot of time to just kind of figure out who was where and how we were structuring it. And
also, kudos to all of the former ghost faces because they all had to say yes to their photos being used.
yep.
Yeah.
Like, every single one had to like see what we were using, make the call. I remember with some of the agents, they were like, "Well, can you use this photo?" And we were like, "Well, that was taken 10 years after they allegedly died
On the red
like,
carpet for the
we
opening of
can't-
some other movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
Tim Oliphant has to be this age."
So is that
And it has to be from Go.
it's from Go.
Is he
right?
from Go? I think he's from Go.
There's very little of Tim Oliphant from that era. Very few kind of candid photos.
He's a private man.
Very private man.
I wonder who Ghostface
Jeez,
is.
frame him
Ghostface,
against
but
the
it
murder
also looks
wall.
like she's like, I am going to suspiciously walk away.
Yeah.
She does two great suspicious walkaways here and then in the theater at the end.
Yes.
It's like,
That's-
I have business to the left.
Yes.
Like,
And the funny thing in that theater, there is nothing.
there's nothing over
over
there.
there. She's walking into a wall.
Into a wall.
Right. Just walk into the wall.
So this is the beginning of, I think, one of probably all of our collective favorite
Oh.
sequences in the movie. But I love how even just reading this for the first time, it's such a heartfelt, emotional scene about everything that's being dealt with, and it just gets hijacked.
Yeah, I think it's
like
like the
Mika.
language of these movies. You're like, no. The more they smile, the more brutal the,
You're like, oh,
the
this is
outcome
gonna
is
get
going
worse
to
and
be.
worse, yeah.
yeah. Also, really loved. This was one of those moments in the script that it's a minor detail, but this idea that they're all having a sleepover, that they're all staying safe together. It was just such a warm, wonderful idea.
We joke a lot about how Annika's just in the other room the whole time reading a book.
Also, kudos to Annika. Be like, yeah, it's great. You're all friends.
The core
there
four
are 5
and
of us here.
Annika.
Also, they just prepared a whole meal with no knives.
That's by the way. That's
We had that conversation when we were talking about what are they cooking. We were like, well, Tara's got to be picking herbs for a salad
Noodles
and
and
not
salad.
cutting
It's a
things.
stew.
you can't make a stew without knives. New York's one reporter is on the case again.
Back out there. On
He's
the
been,
streets.
actually isn't. It's
On the
Oh no,
beat.
that's outside the building.
That's Elm Court. Yeah. what is that?
yeah.
Yeah.
That crew, by the way, really doesn't. They don't do a good job because someone falls to their death 10 minutes later, and they do not capture it.
Yeah, they were wrapping up. They were
Yeah, man, we gotta
on
go.
a break.
Save it for the next shift.
This was a fun scene to block too. You guys wrote a lot of these scenes in this movie that were like really fun to block because they were so well written and then just visually had to evolve. Mm-hmm. And so to figure out who's where, like, okay, they're in the kitchen, and then, getting them over here in like a nice organic way. But the scene that's coming up here, a lot of improv. By far the most improv I'd say in the whole movie.
Yeah, I was there that day too.
The core four.
Right.
But it
And-
works. That's
and-
what you want.
Yeah, and
you
that's
want
what
so
you
naturalistic.
want. You
Yeah.
want it
Yeah.
to feel
Natural.
like these are real
Yeah.
friends, and they're really like just they
bonding.
trust each other and bonding. And I remember when we were watching it while we were shooting, going,
How are we going to cut
"This is going to be a pain to edit." And then when we got to the edit with Jay was like, "I spent 4 nights figuring that one out."
Smashing my head against the monitor.
But it works.
It does, yeah, it does.
Hey, just a reminder, not a single person in this room hates you. Okay, we have all been through some fucked up stuff. And we're
This is also, I think, Jamie, Guy, you guys you do such a good job of getting these characters in the script to a place emotionally, and then having a joke that isn't cynical, that actually is still about that emotion. I think one of the things that we've found works so well in this movie is that even though Mindy's sort of taking the piss out of the scene a little bit, it's still about the same thing. It's not cynical. It's not about something else. And I think that's one of the reasons why you really feel this friendship so deeply here.
I knew it!
Well, and also Sam confessing that she's sleeping with Danny, and then the reaction she gets is one of support.
Yeah.
This, by the way, was a late edition, I remember,
Yes.
which I love.
Great,
which is
Jamie.
we had the conversation. It's like, what would really happen? Because in other movies, it's like the sale of Ghostface masks have been banned, and I was like, not in this America, buddy. Like,
Yeah.
they run on them. You kidding me?
God, and it sets up the subway so well.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
of the ghost faces on the subway, and all those pictures on the TV. There's one of
Yo.
all of our post team, you and River, Matt, right?
Yeah.
And the Sherrick family.
This is one of my favorite moments
I know.
of New
I
York.
see you,
Like,
motherfucker.
Oh shit! This makes me so happy.
And that's Jack Champion in the Ghostface costume. He kept begging us like, I want to come to set. I want to put on the robe and the mask. And this was one of the few days we were actually able to make it work schedule wise.
By the way, whenever you have a movie where the actors have a day off and are begging to come to set,
Yeah, you're doing
that's a
something
pretty
right.
great situation. Tim Robinson. About to get murdered.
That was
Can you join
Jack.
me, babe?
That was Jack Champion in the robe there. That's
Yeah,
his...
in the walk into the
Yeah.
bathroom.
And here's where you're just yelling at them, please answer the
Yeah.
phone.
I also love that Danny's like, what the fuck are they doing?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a very
like,
late ad,
Jesus
right? That
Christ.
was a
What is
because
with
we
you
kept having
people?
that reaction. We were
Are they
like,
high-fiving at
Yeah.
a dinner table? This was a really early idea, I remember, Guy, which was the be scared of the banging sounds at the beginning of the movie.
Right.
When a character is like and gets it wrong, and then banging sounds later, they also get it wrong.
dialing in those bang sounds.
Oh, I'm sure.
Hilarious.
Yeah, and also like having to do ADR, I'm sure with Liana, it's like, all right, now
Yeah.
make with the sex sound.
we left the room. We were like, we'll
You're like, please,
give you
we'll
some space for
settle
this
down.
one. This is one of those fun movie moments where it just kind of slows down in such a nice way.
This, by the way, to me is the Jurassic Park moment. It's the run.
Yeah.
And figuring out the choreography on this too was like, okay, they're all gonna get attacked, but how
How do Chad
how do you
and
split
Tara
them up?
leave?
How do you
Yeah.
how do you make people believe that Mindy's in trouble? And the knife block is empty.
Also, this one low key, one of the challenges of this set was figuring out the way that the doors would open. I know it sounds like a small
God.
thing to
Yeah.
state.
I remember
but
that, yeah, we
that
had to-
door knowing that it had to open out so that Quinn could be thrown out.
Yeah.
And also knowing that for Ghostface to get through the door, we needed it to open in to the room, the other one to
So
open
that they
in on the
could
Jack and
barricade it,
Jill,
yeah.
so that it could be barricaded. And
Yeah.
then it was really a very long conversation.
And also just trying to establish the geography of it. Like the Jack and Jill bathroom,
Yep.
you kind of don't know about in advance. You kind of have to go with it.
Yeah, you see a little bit of Tara's room on the other side, but there's totally.
One of the things is these are secretly action movies. You know, like they really are in a lot of ways with these sequences. And so the beat-to-beat choreography of that is always kind of tricky. And also it's easier to write it on the page, and they're like, yeah, I'll figure it out.
Yep. Good luck, guys.
I love that Ghostface kick. I remember we found that in
Yeah,
editing,
that was a
and it was
find.
like,
That was also a fun moment. That wide shot of the kick. We'd originally designed the set for that wall to fly away, and then on the day realized that it had been built as a solid wall instead of a flyaway. So we just had them take a hacksaw to it and cut the
Get
wall
out the saws.
and remove the wall, so we could get that wide shot.
I was, as I said before, on set for this day, and this was the first day when he's trying to break into the room, and I could see how relentless the stunt performer was, and how it was legitimately scary, even to the actors, and how they were getting bumped and nudged by this
Jasmine
dresser.
goes flying.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, I think this one's gonna be really scary.
Yeah, there was literally after calling cut on every take, it was, is everyone all right? We'd
Yeah.
sort of shout and make sure that
I think they got some
everyone
bruises
was
on
safe.
Oh, they got
Oh,
bruises.
there's so many
Whoa.
bruises after
We
this
should
part,
say
too.
to Max, the stunt performer who does 90% of the Ghostface work,
Holy cow, he's good.
he's great, and he brought something different to it that at first we were like, we have to like gut check that this is right, and then once we all agreed, like, yeah, this is like, let's steer into this, it just took on a whole new life.
He's wonderful.
He's so
Yeah.
good, yeah, and he really brought such a level of performance to it that was great.
No, blood sponge.
Oh my God.
Love a blood sponge.
I remember this sequence also in the edit was a like there was because you had a lot, which was
Yeah.
great, but it was sort of like, okay, how are we really gonna, do we start in the bottom? Do we start at the top? You also, I love the shots of Chekhov's dumpster.
Yeah.
You're kind of subtly telling the audience, there's a dumpster down there, right? But you don't want it to be like, look out for that dumpster.
No, it's
Yeah, and the challenge of making it not feel like the scenes that happen in this room and the scenes on the ladder are separate, that they're still connected, that
Yeah.
there's always, the tension's always rising. We're not,
Because you're
we're not
going
taking
back
the
and
air
forth.
out at any moment.
I believe that
between
moment-
stage and go on.
that was a Jasmine ad,
was.
right?
Yeah,
that
the
was,
kiss.
she on the day, and we loved it. We were like, that's great.
Yeah.
But it was really interesting because what we're talking about, it creates another layer, and also we still have to keep the pace up.
Yeah.
And it was finding like how long can we live in that moment without losing the pace.
And also without it feeling like
Like
I
the
mean,
scenes
you're,
ahead
you're
of you.
You're pretty sure the last one to go is probably going to die. You
Yeah.
don't want it to happen.
Yeah.
But you don't want that to feel like a long goodbye where you're like, oh, she's toast. you know?
100%.
So Devin, during this section, I think she did 34 falls off the ladder.
Oh, my God.
And her legs the next day.
So bruised.
I mean, everyone just was so down for how physical this was, and really wanted it to feel real. They're all so awesome.
Well, it's a testament to how you guys shot it, how the actors performed it, and the stunt work and everything. That I
Also,
still,
how it was written.
I said, I was
Testament.
trying to be humble there.
That's what I'm here for.
That's true. But just I get choked up.
Yeah.
It's just hard to watch.
Every
It's so-
time.
Yeah.
She's also, I mean, because she's not in the movie much. So to make that kind of an impression in the scene she's in, and then this moment, and have people be like, this is heartbreaking, because it is.
And it's Devin, it's Melissa, it's Jasmine.
It's the dumpster.
Oh,
It's the dumpster.
I loved
Dumpster's a great
that
performer.
scripted moment too, that the fall, you're anticipating the fall. What you're not anticipating is how
the head smack.
graphic the punctuation mark at the end of it's going to be. Typically you cut away from stuff like that, and I love that this movie, that even on the scripted stage, that it was just going to show you the thing
Also that it
you
takes
don't want to fucking see.
Like the
about
fall,
20
the fall's
seconds
not
to
enough.
fall.
yeah, I love
Yeah.
it's like our four.
She falls about 4 times.
The magic of the movies.
Okay.
And then back on the practical location that we replicated on stage, which is still blows my mind that they were able to replicate it so perfectly on
We also
the
just
stage.
cut over. There one of the few scenes that got cut from this was right before this. We had a scene with Dermot standing over Liana's body, and it just felt too like it didn't hold up on rewatch.
Yeah, and it was also like, why are you showing us this?
Yeah.
And it felt like it was like, see, she's really dead.
Yeah.
Like, as opposed to it being enough when you see her body come out.
And then we ended up, her body coming out of that bedroom, we ended up in VFX adding that throat slash just to really make it clear that she was dead.
That she was dead, yeah. And I think it's more believable without that.
Study hall with 100 other people. You can ask any of them.
Fuck.
Oh my God. Who?
Annika and Quinn.
Mindy, I'm so sorry.
Step the fuck back. You're at the top of my list.
The other thing too, like scripting and I'm sure shooting it, was like this scene was really tricky because it's so many different things happen in the scene. Like 3 different people show up in the middle of the
Oh,
scene
yeah.
at different
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
So it's sort of got like these, it's like 5 movements. It's like you get Sam and Danny, and then you get Ethan coming in and getting thrown up. Then you get Bailey walking out and them going over to him and having the conversation.
Then Kirby.
Gail comes in and they
Then
have a conversation. Then Kirby comes in and they have a conversation.
I mean, this was the scene that I think was one of the most daunting for us filming wise because
Right.
of exactly what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
no,
we were
it's
like,
a beast.
and you're shooting outside, so you can't control the weather. So it's like
Yeah.
there's all these things that go into that like just on the day that for us you
Just
just
practical challenges.
Yeah, you're just like, we have to like get through this. And then it didn't help that when Mason throws Jack against that corner van, it shattered the window. In the
superhumanly strong,
gag
which
reel.
you can see on the gag reel. Yeah. But I think that this number of movements is really important. One of the challenges of of these movies, and I think one of the things that makes them great is that something brutal like what just happened to Annika can happen, and then the movie sort of resets itself tonally, and it's really this moment between Tara and Gail that happens.
It sort of
there's
starts
a
there.
little bit of a joke made, a little bit of a smile, and now you're sort of back in the tone, but you need that number of movements
You're also
to get back
on the
track.
Right.
Yeah, it's like the gang's back to
And the
to
plot.
The
Now we're doing
mystery.
plot,
Yeah.
and then Kirby's going to come in with more plot, and then joke.
Joke,
Yeah.
and then you're out. You're back on the case. Yeah.
She's with the FBI.
One of the really nice sort of things we found in the script, and then when you guys on set was the rivalry between Gail and
like,
Kirby.
yeah.
Just-
Have a gun, Gail.
Okay, fine.
I had to fight to keep Zygote in. I remember.
I know, it's such a good line.
I'm thrilled I won that fight.
They use fake names to rent this place. How did you find it?
This was a really interesting thing, too, to figure out where this back alley, the rear entrance of the theater is in relation to the actual theater. This is a totally separate set that is exists where we shot the finale, the
final
big
day,
sort
yeah.
of final day, you know, the aftermath. But love how they dressed that alley to feel like you're stepping into the world of the shrine.
This is also a directorial nightmare because, again, you have how many actors?
Oh, gosh, so many.
I mean,
Too many.
and all of this dialogue and all of this, like, this movie more than any other Scream movie, I think, is there's a sort of a Scooby Gang aspect of it
For sure.
as they sort of go through it. The other thing is this evolved in the script as well. Originally, you know, it was a warehouse with all of this stuff in it. And it was always stuff from the actual murders, not the stab things. I think I saw something where one of you guys was like, it was from the movies. I think it was always stuff from.
It was. My memory is that it was like not all of either.
That it was a mixture?
Because I remember
I
us
don't
having
remember
so
that.
many conversations about, I think we need to choose a lane on this. But maybe
You could totally be right. Guy, do you remember?
I think it was always the Scream stuff.
I always thought it was the Scream stuff, and no, it was.
I know there was a stab clapper, which we
There's the
was in
clapper
script.
and the
Yeah.
the original cut of Stab 3, but it wasn't. But regardless of that, like it was always sort of a warehouse because we were like, where can we set a final
Yeah.
sequence that's really cool that hasn't been done before? Like that was a big thing for us. And then I remember you guys were scouting, and you were like, so we found a movie theater, and I remember thinking to myself, oh no, like it's Scream 2. Like it's like it's been. I was like,
We were reticent because of Scream 2. And
really
then
because of Scream 2.
But then Jamie
And
and I
then-
went there to check out the location so we could kind of retrofit the script to it. Saw this place and we're like, this isn't
I
going to
love
feel
this so
anything like,
much.
this is going to feel very
Yeah, and
different.
I think the idea of bringing that warehouse feel to this space, making it feel like a museum and not necessarily like a theater, was such a cool handoff between those two ideas.
It's also just such a great location and space. Like it's
It's
like
so
you do
nice.
what's right for the movie that's in front of you, and also that allowed you guys to be. I remember you guys being like, so what if we used the screen
Yeah, what if it was something that could move and sort of
and move
reveal
and go
the,
up and down, and then you
reveal
can
the
show the movies.
costumes? Yeah.
And then I remember Ron being like, "I'm sorry, what movies are you gonna show that we have to either get the rights to or make ourselves?"
And that was a long conversation, and then ended up being Adam Sand and Adriana King, our assistant and Ron's assistant.
So great.
They went out on like weekends and after hours and shot everything you see on the screen.
It also, I think, one of the things that we really loved about this theater location is that it could feel like there were different spaces that these different kind of tones and moments could exist in. You know, these 9 robes surrounding Sam in this scene, that it could have a really different vibe, a really different feel.
Well, you guys just did such a great job with the layout. Because again, we were like, great, it's all in the theater. I don't know where. And everybody would be like, well, should we put should the ghost face stuff be on the stage and down there? And then is stuff in the balcony? And how do they, like, it was all, there was so many aspects to this that you did such a great job figuring out.
It's those things where you know, it's that whole like possibilities are limitless.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yay.
I mean, even down to the Billy robe being in a glass case. I remember
Right.
we were like, Sam has to see
His
his reflection.
Yeah.
How is that reflected if that make that costume feel more special, so it got put in a glass
Also,
case.
shout out to Skeet Ulrich.
Yeah,
Shout out
just
to
for,
Skeet.
you know.
Being down to come and play.
That's so
for
awesome.
A few, 45 minutes of shooting.
This was a scene that we loved in the script, and I feel like the scene itself never changed, but the location of it changed probably 3 times.
A bunch of
Oh my
times,
God.
yeah.
It was in the van for a while. Because it was this thing where it was sort of like, how do you, and again, it's Scream logic, right? So it works, but it's like, we were like, well, if it happens here, it happens right after Annika died and you know what I mean? It was sort of like, would Mindy be in this headspace? And it was like, no, this is how these movies work. Like, you know?
Yeah.
I was always afraid this would get cut because it doesn't move the plot forward in any way, but it was important to me because it's like, why bring Kirby back if you don't have this scene?
Yeah.
Because that's what makes her so memorable. One of the reasons she's so memorable in 4 is her encyclopedic knowledge of movies and the moment in the Ghostface call where she just rattles them off and you're like, well, she's got to sit down with Mindy at
you're
some point.
expecting that moment.
Guy and I left to our own devices, by the way, would have written like 7 versions of that scene and put it all through the, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that would have been a runner.
there's just so much, there's so many, in a great way, characters to service and stories, lines going on in the middle of all this. Loved all of the stab posters.
All the stab posters.
Just, and Jenna and Melissa. Melissa's so good in this movie.
The sister dynamic in this, just the way, you know, we talked a lot about, like, during the edit, just trying to find as many places where they have, like, their glances to each other and those looks. All those just, like, unspoken things that are so, they're just, the two of them just brought so much to that relationship, and it's so awesome.
Where's your mother in all this?
Dewey theme coming up.
Oh, get your tissues ready.
Dewey theme.
Another
Broken
shout
Arrow.
out, Jay Perchidney dropped that in the assembly, and we were like, yes.
Yep, that's where that
Perfect.
It choked up. Yeah, Amber, my wife, not Amber the killer, choked up when she heard it the first time. She's like, that's great.
This is one of my favorite pieces of writing too. You guys have done this little bit about losing somebody and being lonely and attaching yourself to another loner. Like it's such a, again, it's this arc. Like I think it was unexpected for me on a read that there would be so much to play with Gail and Sam's relationship specifically, and it's just such a beautiful moment. They connect there.
That was a longer scene too, right?
It was a little bit longer, but it was sort of, we kept kind of like shaving off lines.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, the tighter this is, the better it is. Like,
Yeah.
and all of it was, the performances were great. Like, it was just like one of those things where it's like, if you just press it down to the core of it, it feels, and the same thing with this, I think. This was longer.
My life being afraid of monsters. I wanted the monsters to be afraid of me.
I love her read on that.
Yeah, me too.
Great.
And this was another one that just, we sort of thought of staging it in multiple places, but ultimately, knowing that a big chunk of the third act is going to take place on this balcony, we knew we had to get up there for a quiet moment.
My son is in the background of this. I think your son, Matt, is in the background
Meyer
of
is
this.
in
Meyer
this.
is William's son is in the background of this.
The
My son
Parthenon is
Charlie.
in the background of this.
It's, by the way, my son Charlie saying, "Mom throws better than you." Can be heard in the background.
Wonderful.
He was thrilled with the line.
Doing the phone tracing thing that never works in the movies.
Cheetos, shout out to Kenny.
Kenny.
To Kenny.
Yep.
This was one of the more challenging scenes to shoot. It was the hottest day of the year in Montreal when we shot this, and
Chad's in a
can't
sweatshirt.
have an air conditioner running while you're shooting in a small space like this. So it was just very wildly uncomfortable.
And this van is parked basically exactly where Mindy was giving her speech to the
Oh, did you
friends
sort
earlier.
of pull it up?
We just
Great.
like brought it
coupled
on.
those
Yeah.
scenes.
Yeah,
You
so
also-
it's just shot right there.
Also, everyone's eating Mountain Dews and Cheeto in an enclosed space.
Right. A lot of smells in that.
I also
that van.
we joke a lot about how Gail can't come because no press, but these kids can come.
Absolutely. Oh yeah. No. Well, look, they're part of there. I think it's like, oh well, you guys are bait, so we lose. There are a lot of kids. We lose a couple of you. I will say, I just love the fact that it's hiding in plain sight.
I know, it's
Richie.
literally
it's clearly
Richie's phone
family.
number.
Like they're calling with Richie's phone.
It is so good.
What is on Dermot's earpiece?
Favorite shot of the movie coming up, guys.
Where is he?
There he
There he is. Turn to the camera.
It just gets me. Oh god!
Every
it just
time.
is so good.
I've never
It's
seen this
so-
movie where you didn't burst out
it's
laughing at the guy
so
with
good.
the
In shorts and bunny ears. What an insane thing! What an insane thing we've done.
Geolocation coming through right now.
I also this is one of. I love that Mason and Jack don't have any lines, but they are so funny in this scene.
Yeah.
Like it's such a good.
Well,
it's a testament to just how memorable they both
I
are.
can't remember why, but I do remember that day that Jasmine had a joke when we finished, and she's like, I had all the lines. Why'd you guys take twice as long to shoot it?
You to keep them safe.
Bit of trivia: there was a moment where in the sequence where Chad and Mindy were doing a Gale and Dewey from 2 and running around and taking people's phones during the phone call and trying to see if they could find Ghostface. And Tara, I believe, was in a version off on her own, and that's when Frankie
Yes.
snuck up on her.
This was a huge thing. They were in 2 separate locations.
Yeah.
Sam was in one part of New York. Tara was on campus. Like, it was a crazy
that's
kind of...
right. So then Tara ended up tasing Frankie again. And then we had a moment with Chad and Mindy where they're standing next to a van, much like the way their uncle dies in 2. Van door flies open, and it's just a red herring. It's a misdirect. There's, 2 people coming out with a Frisbee or something, but...
College stuff.
College stuff.
So
So
this
this
is
sort of necessity is the mother of invention, because we were told we couldn't do any of this.
Do any of it,
And
yeah.
so the fact that it just is the van, I think it just moves the story along.
Yeah, that was one that was just schedule wise. Like, how can we get? I remember it was how can we do it in a day and a half, and there was how can we do it in a day, and how can we do it in 3/4 of a day.
Yep.
This was all a practical location. This was one of the more challenging sets to find. It was a place that we saw really early on and fell in love with it. It felt so much like Gale, that it was this grand open loft space and very, very much unlike the apartments that you've been in and unlike the kind of houses you've seen in the other movies. And but it presented all of these challenges because of the number of windows. You could only shoot stuff at night. So we shot 4 splits, tinting during the daylight hours, and then rolling the blacks up. And
Splits are for the uninitiated. What's a
yes,
split?
a split is when you're essentially splitting your day and your night work, knowing that you have to capture some night stuff. So you typically start a split around 2 p.m. and go until 2-3 a.m.
And this was no joke. The last week of June into July, was that when it was?
Yeah, so there were
because it was like the longest
6 hours
days of the year.
6 hours of darkness.
And you're in Canada.
Oh, right.
And you're as far north as you can get.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Very
And you're doing
little,
night stuff.
little nighttime in this fishbowl.
I remember being like, well, you could tent it during the day. Like, well, we can't do that. Then why are we shooting, at this location? We'd have to VFX all the windows. So it worked out so well.
More proof that Ron Lynch hates cars. We had a lot of cutting to the cop car.
Yeah, a lot of cutaways
need
to
it.
driving.
And then, there was something that was going to get entirely lost from that, too. And we were like, can we at least see them get into the car?
Yes, can we have a car for them to get into? We're not going to see them get out of a car.
Oh, and they were going to pull up, too. And we're
He's
gonna
like,
see
well,
them...
absolutely. Of course we can't have a car pulling up to a curb. You insane? Courtney's such a gamer with this.
Oh, my
Incredible.
I mean, just
Incredible.
and it's also, again, it's not a set on a stage. So it's like those are concrete pillars she can run into. That's a real glass door. Like,
That's a real edge of
real
a building.
furniture.
That is a real
stunt,
rooftop.
That's a real, exactly.
Yeah.
Don't fall off the rooftop.
Our stunt coordinator, Alex Kaju, he is so incredible. He spent so much time in these spaces, and then what they'd do is they'd replicate the layout of these spaces in our production office using cardboard boxes and pads, and just go hog wild. They choreographed, I think one version of this fight that they choreographed was like 3 or 4 times longer than what you see in the movie. And, it's our job then to kind of pare it back and make sure that it's something achievable. But they had so much fun working in these practical spaces.
Dewey picture from Scream 5.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I also, just to sort of say it about Courtney too, like I remember when we were writing this, like some of the lines I was like, this is some pretty mean shit. Like Ghostface saying last century's heroes, like that's some mean shit. And I was like, we'll probably have to take out some of it. And nope, she was down for all of it.
Yeah.
It was just like,
Courtney had so much fun on this one. She was like just wonderful the entire time, and so excited to, I mean, she loves what you guys wrote, and she was so excited to do it all.
It's so awesome. And she's so great.
She's so good.
I remember, by the way, Brooks getting thrown through the thing. There was a whole, we can't throw, it wasn't you guys, but it was I remember getting that thing. We can't throw the body through the thing, and you have to figure out another way to have him it kept changing, and every day when we were like, oh, we're back to throwing the body through something. It's the same with the ladder, remember?
Yeah, the ladder.
We can't actually use a ladder. You have to come up with some other way to get them across. Okay, now we can use the ladder again.
Yeah, and that's really, I think, just part of the process of you start shot listing and blocking, and then you realize, well, the alternate version of this is much harder to do than what was ultimately
the one that's going to save us time.
It's
not going to save us time.
But you have to go through that exercise.
Also, Michelle designed that bookshelf and that divider, so we were able to figure out which part he can go through.
That's so great. Also, I remember Guy and I really early being like, we can't believe Gail's never had a Ghostface call.
Yeah.
Shocking.
It's right?
It truly was, but it plays so well this time around.
I mean, I'm thrilled.
It was nice that we had that
thank
one
you, Kevin.
for 6.
You're the best.
Way to save it.
Then you kind of wonder, how does Richie's family know that she's never had a Ghostface call?
Richie's an enormous fan.
Guys,
Richie's an enormous fan, knows everything
I'm
about
going to point
these
out all the
things in
flaws in our movie.
That's well,
No, my
let me
head,
know when you get to one.
My,
Clearly flawless.
I love this shark
Hysteria.
attack.
Oh,
Yes,
so great.
in my head canon, she wrote in all of her novel or in all of her books that she's never had a Ghostface call.
Head cannon.
And to date, I've never
That's
had a
great.
Ghostface call, and I'm not tempting fate by writing this in a book.
The book that she hits him with is her new book, Requel.
Yep.
Pretty cool.
By the way, Brooks is based on my longtime friend Brooks Krause. Shout out to Brooks.
If we love you, we murder you.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's the. Just so you know.
Sorry, Jason Carvey. Sorry, Brooks.
This will cut away of the glass. That's our assistant Adam's hand.
Yeah.
Nice.
Shot at the police station.
By the way, Brian Tyler's score. First time I saw it with his score, this moment I gasped.
Yeah.
Even though I'd seen the movie 100 times, and even though I'm like, she's not gonna get stabbed in the face. With Brian's music, I was like, oh no! And Sven Falconer, by the way.
Yeah, Sven and Brian. I do love that we stick to the, as soon as Ghostface has gone through a door, he's just out.
gone.
He's out.
He's gone. No one is
And
pursuing.
He never comes back, by the way.
Fun fact, that door that he runs through is actually a tiny bathroom, and we just
put
put
signs,
that little
yeah.
stair placard next to it and added the sound effects of him running down some metal stairs.
I love the
That's
idea.
like the briefing room sign in the police station. I'm like, well, this is where they brief, I guess. I don't.
It is
Only for briefing.
legit like 4 feet by 4 feet. It is
the
one
smallest
of the smallest
bathroom.
rooms
Yeah,
you could
it's
ever
like
be.
He's just quietly washing his hand.
I just love the idea of him Max just running. It's Max, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, running in there, and there's this tiny little space, and then he just kind of has to stand there and look in the mirror for a couple minutes. And
Just wait. We were shooting all of this as the sun was coming up, and it was a race against time.
Yeah, it was the most
man.
indie this movie felt.
Yeah.
These few hours.
It was very like, we just gotta go. But and it was Courtney's last day, so as soon as we wrapped this scene, moments after this shot, Courtney had left the movie.
on
Or
air.
she was having a